I really hope that that's what happens, but I'm also really excited to see what's next for Jay. But I think the superstar that everybody's talking about and wondering what's next for right now when it comes to the WWE side of things is Ron Killings. He came back on Monday Night Raw. We, of course, saw him on the pay-per-view this past weekend. And you and I talked about that, but we were live on Monday afternoon. We didn't know what to expect when it came to Ron Killings on Monday Night Raw. I was kind of surprised that Triple H posted a picture of him backstage prior to the show in the hoodie and the gloves and the whole deal. And then in the middle of the show, he took over and jumped on the announce desk and grabbed the microphone and cut a hell of a promo. The crowd was really behind him. And he said something like, don't let nobody tell you that you don't matter. Don't let nobody tell you that your voice don't matter. They heard, listened, they understood, and I'm back because of y'all. Huge promo saying he's here to be taken seriously. He's not a joke. He's not R-Truth. He's Ron the Truth Killings, and he cut his hair with a pair of scissors, cut his dreadlocks off. I mean, the crowd was all over this. And in the first 24 hours after Monday Night Raw, the title switch, which is obviously a big deal, the main event of the show, and we've got a new World Heavyweight Champion, had around 900,000 views. Meanwhile, R-Truth's promo standing on the announce desk did 2.2 million views. Once again, proving that story is more important than titles or bangers or any of that. What'd you think of Ron Killings' promo?
I think it's very telling, the 2.2 million views, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, that tells you what people want to see. I thought his promo was great, and I thought that Killings can deliver. I always called him Truth, but Truth can deliver. You know, sometimes when the fans want something, you give it to them, and it's like the dog that caught the car. Like, what the hell are you going to do now? The guy can't deliver. I mean, there are a lot of times like that. You know, you see a gimmick that comes along and people say, oh, the gimmick's cute. We want the gimmick. We want the gimmick. There's a reason you don't see it very often. And all of a sudden you give it to the fans and it shits the bed. Killings is not going to do that. He's been around a long time. He's gotten over everywhere he's been. He's gotten over the silly stuff, the dumb stuff, the serious stuff, the rap stuff. He's gotten over everything he's done. He is going to deliver. I'm really excited for Truth. I think it's wonderful he's back. I think it's wonderful that the fans wanted him, and it's wonderful that they got him, and they got a guy that's not going to go out there and you wonder, okay, we got him now. What do we do with him? You're going to have a lot of things to do with Truth because he's that talented.
I can't wait to see what they do with him next, and I do hope they continue to slot him in the main events. I mean, he's getting the reaction like, you know, timing is everything, and now is the time. I think you're an advocate for that too, right? We've got to push
100%.
Ron to the top of the card right now, right?
You have to. I don't know if he becomes world champion or not. I know I saw Booker's comment on it, and I agree with Booker. He'd be a great world champion, and I think the fans would buy it. Obviously, they'd buy it. You know, what is he? Is he 53 years old? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but he looks fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, you know, Foreman came along, knocks out Moore at 45. You know, the world's changed. You know, 53 used to be ancient and grandfathers, and guys would, you know, you'd see Booker's maybe 53 years old. You call him old man. Now you got talent that is. The world's changed. People are, you know, look at LeBron James, played at age 40 and still at the top of his game. People are different now, and I think Truth could be a world champion. I hope he is.
It's interesting too, because I mean, I never even considered the idea that he might win the world title, but I would absolutely love that. I think that would be fantastic. But I think the oldest WWE champion in history, do you want to take a guess who it is?
Flair.
Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was
right.
54 years old in 21 days. So yeah, he's a year younger than Vince was, but it's funny because we looked at Vince back then like he was an old guy, but I don't think anybody looks at Ron Killings that way.
Nobody looks at him. I mean, because he looks the same as he did. He's like Rey Mysterio. Mysterio's going to wrestle until he's 185. When I was 39 or 40 when I won the championship, I was one of the oldest champions then. But now business has changed. The world's changed. Nutrition's changed. People just are healthier longer. Truth looks like he's 28 years old. I mean, age is a number. It's like Satchel Paige used to say, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? And that's true. You know, some guys are 40 years old and they look like they're freaking 80. I got old college buddies. You know, some of them are just fat as they can be and barely get around. I got some that, you know, are out there doing triathlons and shit. You know, it's just age is just a number.
I, for one, can't wait to see what they're doing next with Ron Killings. And I think we're all interested. So now it's just a matter of seeing where the creative goes. And I'm interested in the creative on this new TV show. I don't know if you saw this, John, but Deadline, which is the #1 Hollywood news magazine or industry trade, kind of like the Observer, I guess. They reported that Netflix is developing a pro wrestling drama series. I think they're loosely calling it Tuesday Night Titans. If that sounds familiar, you're an old wrestling fan. The series follows a tenacious writer who risks her career in the big leagues to recruit her estranged childhood best friend, who is a quote unquote jobber on the indies, to join the same behemoth company they idolized in their youth. Their destinies become entangled as they battle personal demons, ruthless colleagues, and their complicated history in an industry where kayfabe isn't confined to the ring, but bleeds into every aspect of their lives. Man, I have really, really high hopes for this, John. Usually when we've seen things like this, where there's been a wrestling television show, it was kind of campy and tongue-in-cheek. But if they really lean into the politics of pro wrestling, this could be a sleeper hit. This could be like Succession for wrestling.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones for wrestling.
Yeah.
Like if you're a wrestling fan, or even if you're not a fan, I could see this being really, really attractive, even to invite new fans into the fold. Don't you think?
I completely agree. Look, most of the time we've had like wrestling series and stuff, they were done by just dumbasses. They're done by old carny guys that were in wrestling that think they could do a TV show. This is going to be done by Netflix with TV guys that are doing a wrestling show. That's completely different. That's why, you might have something, you hate to even think about it being like with Game of Thrones, people will laugh at you, for even making that comparison, but that's why you could have something like a Game of Thrones, because you're going to have TV guys doing episodic television, which they're very good at, not a bunch of old wrestling carnies saying, hey, let's do a TV show. We're good at putting wrestling together. None of that stuff never worked. I think Netflix will do a good job. By the way, this Netflix partnership with WWE has been huge for WWE, because the dynamic pricing model that they have that Netflix developed, that's one of the dynamic models being used by all these sports groups now. This dynamic, that's why they're making so much freaking money, but a lot of it was developed by Netflix.
I can't wait to see how this shakes out. Of course, this is the first report, so we're probably a ways away. Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105 or get yourself a quick quote. Even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.